Welcome back to the community. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. If you're a crew here, catch me on my next live. Today we're going to watch the creepiest, scariest, weirdest, most unusualist, allegedly, TikToks sent by you. So here we go.
Tell y'all how low my standards are with some of these men. Like men older than me, they don't even have their own place to stay in type stuff. Yes, embarrassing, right?
Okay. Wait, what? What happened? Hold on. What's the creepy part? Oh, I see. She's a clone. That's not a real booty. Look how it get all flat over. See right there? That's okay. I didn't know that the clones was in Latin America, but I guess they're everywhere, I guess. He looking at that clone booty too. He like, what is these?
The world around you is a lie, and the history of us has been covered up. We are the new population of the world, and a one world, unified race of people used to exist all across. The Tartarians. They built all these buildings that you see, and they designed them in order to obtain the free energy from the atmosphere. No matter where you look, you'll find the same thing. People attribute that to design styles and architecture, and the story has been greatly falsified, most likely by artificial intelligence that we know nothing about. But it's clear that if you look around long enough, you'll see that there is much more to this story. What happened? If we did build these, how have we gone so far downhill? Why are the doorways so massive? Why are the old stories of giants being dug up from the ground? Many people say this is the millennial reign of Christ.
The Tartarians. Yeah, they came up with tartar sauce, right? Whoa, the ocean is probably the most scariest thing in the world. It ain't go on that mug and see, stop the cap.
Gotta kill the man and take his life. 2 days ago, I watched a guy rob a bodega. The man was on his knees praying. He showed him the stashes, like, yo, look, you forgot something. Guy turned around, bah, shoots him in the head. That's pure evil.
Yeah.
I know people been saying this forever, but they just been saying it. The devil's in the streets. The devil. Not bad people, not this. The devil. The devil is in the streets more than ever and alive.
That's a scary thought.
$1,000 up on any college player that'll hurt his son, that motherfucker.
So this grown-ass little guy wants to put a hit out on my son? On my son, Charleston White. Let it be known, you putting a hit out on my son?
That's a terrorist threat, dude. I don't think he wanted those problems.
NSA created SHA-256, which is the algorithmic procedure behind Bitcoin. And everyone said, I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. Then I'm coming across Twitter, and here is a paper from 1996. And the paper was called How to Make a Mint, the Cryptography of Anonymous Electric Cash. This was written in 1996 by NSA. And you know, coincidentally, who the author of that 1996 paper about electronic cash, do you know who the author was? It was Tasoki Nakamoto. Doesn't that sound like Satoshi Nakamoto, who is the credited author for Bitcoin paper? which was in 2008.
I mean, the aliens is out here, man. They been out here. They're just now telling us. You know what I mean? Because I remember when it was like, there's no such thing as little green men. They was here then. Now they like, all right, you know what? We here. You got us. So I'm not surprised by that.
Oh. Seen that?
I seen that, and I know people say virtual effects and everything, but I mean, why weren't they using these kind of graphics for the moon landing? You know what I mean? I think the aliens, they always had this kind of like what if we got our technology from the aliens, and the aliens was like, here, hold us down, use that. It's like their stuff is mad futuristic. We're like, whoa, this is amazing. They're like, dude, we let our kids play with this. This is not, this is not nothing.
You seen that come out of the clouds? Man, what was that? Hold on, Jack. I gotta rewind that.
Did y'all see this video? These forklifts are trying to lift up this one piece of stone. I mean, trying to lift this one block up. Stay with me here. I promise you, I'm going somewhere with this. I seen this video online. And I thought about something. I mean, look at this. They are having issues just lifting it up off of the ground, let alone moving it to another location to stack it like Legos. Look at this. I mean, I'm not sure if this is 100% real, but that's a bulldozer and that is a dump truck. And imagine trying to build the pyramids with this technology. These statues or monoliths on Easter Island has been known to weigh over 200 metric tons, which is approximately over 400,000 pounds. And they are supposed to be building bricks like this and stacking them like Legos with horses and buggies and old wooden technology and metal technology that they use from things lying around. Okay, yes, I'm being funny, but let's be real here. Look at the size of these bricks, of these pieces of granites. And yet, let's take another look at this video once again. There are 3, maybe even 4 forklifts trying to lift up one single block. There ain't enough slaves on this planet to pick this granite up, move it 100 miles and stack it real neat and do that over and over until you build a pyramid, until you build a monolith or a statue or carvings in the wall. Look at this. I just want everybody to take a look at the issue that we're having today with today's technology. So the question is, how do we really do this? How did they really build the pyramids? I think it's some technology that someone is suppressing, but you be the judge.
I do too. I mean, they say that it's like 5 miles of just books under the Vatican that nobody can go and see. I mean, what for what? You just don't want people to know? I mean, I would start with them. You know what I mean? You don't know what I mean.
How many people thought that this blue umbrella, these Tommy Bahama umbrellas, did you know that's all they are? It's just regular old Tommy Bahama. But these blue umbrellas aren't the most shocking discovery of blue items that weren't burnt in the fire. Yeah, there's one way more obvious, way more suspect, and it makes a lot of sense why this is happening.
So this is the only Wi-Fi truck in all of the Napili Shopping Center.
Damn.
The third biggest hub on the west side, now that Lahaina is gone. The most people here, and this is the Wi-Fi. Why do they not want you to communicate with the rest of the world on the west side of Maui right now.
I'll tell you why, because of people like Captain Chris exposing that why are the supply lines blockaded. He has to go by boat with his local Kanakas and the local Hawaiians, exposing government blocking supply lines. That's just one thing. Maybe it's because of this gentleman who exposed he was on the highway driving and the cops routed him into Front Street and then blocked all the streets behind him. And you know what he had to do? Turn around, because there was no getting out of it. He had to drive around the cops illegally. They didn't want him to. They were trying to route him back into that crap. But this gentleman said in my previous videos, they blocked every street.
That's because the cops, they're not real cops. They're aliens just wearing the cop uniform. I mean, hell, they already wearing a human uniform. Now they got to put on what humans would wear, which is the cop outfit.
Boom, boom. Weird. He broke loose, went around them, and they chased him to his house. He didn't think nothing of it. He doesn't realize yet. It hasn't dawned on him yet what they did. But he knows that they corralled the people. He states it. They corralled the people. He just believes, because people are good-hearted, that this is just orders that's accidental. Does it seem accidental?
No, it's the clones. It's the aliens in conjunction with the clones. The aliens have the cloning technology. It's the aliens.
To you people out there, it gets way worse. Watch this one. Look at this. A shirt store. Watch.
I see a shirt survived.
Many shirts, all blue, with the price tags on them still.
Survives a fire like that, I wonder. A shirt that says Sister Revolution. Hard to believe, huh? The whole building goes down. The whole street goes down, and then these shirts survive somehow. The Sister Revolution. A lot of them, actually. It's crazy.
A lot of them.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna auction these shirts off. The last surviving apparel from Maui. These are gonna go auctioned.
Here's what you should do with those shirts. Keep them for evidence. You're gonna need it. You need a forensic audit going on. Why? This is why.
What if there's more to it? Let's delve into the science of lasers, or as they're ominously termed, dews. Why? Because there's something interesting about a specific shade of blue in these energy beams. Here's the science. Certain energy rays interact differently with various colors on the spectrum. Some colors are more resistant or reflective, protecting underlying materials from harm. Remember those untouched umbrellas amidst the Lahaina devastation? Skyscraping trees untouched by disaster can be explained away. But how do you justify these seemingly invincible umbrellas?
Not the umbrellas, the shirts. With a building imploded on itself, look at it, there's nothing left, but there's blue shirts. Their tags are left because they were in between the shirts, obviously, right? I mean, who doesn't have the chills running up their spine right now from seeing these shirts come out of a flattened structure? Blue shirts. Just look at everything. Just put all the pieces together. I just want you to know that you owe this to yourself to see the truth. Because if you turn a blind eye when truth is slapping you in the face, then you are consenting to what they're doing to these people.
Dude, what can we do with these aliens, dude? It's like, be realistic, man.
Biggest truth of all.
I mean, I guess you can hate it in your heart, but I mean, I'm not saying give up. I'm saying, man, whatever.
Is that there's no more fence to straddle. It's done. Because next time it's your town. And next time it's your child. And next time it's your business. And next time it's your community that's lost. So it is up to you, because nobody can exercise your free will. Nobody can align with the truth but you. Nobody can spread the message that you can, because you are placed here right now for this very time, for this very purpose, to stand up. You feel it in your heart, don't you? Everybody does. I know everybody does, because you can feel it in the air. Everybody knows something's wrong. It's going on worldwide, these fires. And how can anyone explain this? There's nothing that can explain these blue shirts in a collapsed, imploded, totally destroyed building. Let's look at the building as we're walking back up. Let's just So this is the building. There ain't nothing left. There are the shirts right there. How is it possible? It's not just this. It's not just the umbrellas. Things that didn't burn. This guy's account right here is now being stalked and harassed. I wonder by who? All for his drone footage. Did you know that? The gentleman putting out all this drone footage is now being stalked, harassed, is in fear for his safety, for his family. Not for himself. He wants to speak the truth. He knows what it is. He knows it's dangerous, but he's doing it anyways. But look at that. Unscathed. Or that. How is that possible? Everybody knows this blue car. You know that blue car? People kept saying to me, that car was drove there. It wasn't drove there. That car ended there. Oh look, there's one more blue car over there. But I'm gonna have to say that these blue t-shirts, amongst this rubble from this shirt store, clearly because it has brand new tags on it, so that was someone's store.
Well, if we're gonna be conspiracy minded, right?
Building. There ain't nothing left. There are the shirts right there. How is it possible? It's not just this. It's not just the umbrellas. Things that didn't burn. This guy's account right here is now being stalked and harassed. I wonder by who? All for his drone footage. Did you know that? The gentleman putting out all this drone footage is now being stalked, harassed, is in fear for his safety, for his family. Not for himself. He wants to speak the truth. He knows what it is. He knows it's dangerous, but he's doing it anyways. But look at that. Unscathed. Or that. How is that possible? Everybody knows this blue car. You know that blue...
This right here, if we're going to be conspiracy minded, kind of reminds me of the Childish Gambino video, This Is America, at the end. I mean, Hawaii, that is a part of America. So, I don't know. It just reminds me of that when I see it.
Blue car. People kept saying to me, that car was drove there. It wasn't drove there. That car ended there. Oh, look, there's one more blue car over.
Yeah, that reminds me of that. See? Next to... Am I wildin'? I mean, I know it's the aliens, but I'm saying, you know, I don't know, you tell me.
But I'm gonna have to say that these blue t-shirts, amongst this rubble from this shirt store, clearly because it has brand new tags on it, so that was someone's store. Now, those are the most obvious thing I've ever seen. It got the umbrellas smoked out because it was literally in the rubble. Parts of it were smoking, but majority of the shirts were just fine. How is that possible? How is it possible? How do we, as a people, right? We have this brain. God gave us this brain. It has a responsibility. The responsibility is what? To exercise your rights. That's what your responsibility is. Because anything else is consenting to what's playing around you. Maybe we've been indoctrinated to listen, to follow orders like we're seeing all over the place. Have you seen all the order following that people are just like, I'm only following orders? It makes a lot of sense how a lot of tragedies and genocides have happened over the, history. Look at this one. This is in Canada.
Definitely
Canada.
A problem. I am feeding the whole town right now.
I've been ordered not to let anyone across the bridge, so you can go through CSRD and see if they'll let you through, but right now you're not allowed across the bridge.
So
the spot fires aren't on my property, but the 100 acres of bush... That's where the liability issue comes in. That's when you can't be out.
I also just want to know, so if I walk across right now...
You can't.
So I'm going to be arrested if I go across that bridge? So who just told me that I can walk? So I'm literally cannot get over there. Why are we wasting these resources right now on this?
That's just the way it is.
The guy is telling you, the aliens, they in control. That's just what it is. Me, myself, I'm a clone. I can't do anything. I got the orders from the high commander. I can't let you go over. Human, pedestrian, sorry, I can't let you go over.
And nobody's allowed across the bridge.
Okay, what has happened exactly? So you were instructed to stop everyone who comes across this bridge?
Correct.
And so for what reason?
I was given an order and I'm following that order.
Okay, what is the order exactly?
To not let anyone across the bridge.
Is that your official position? The bush that behind where if there is a fire that happens and it comes straight to my place, like you don't understand, like yeah, save your house, but when that bush is behind and I can run out there with a shovel and buckets of water and put out 30 spot fires in a day, when I
save that old lady's house,
I can save 10
she's gonna burn down
and possibly be in the way of wildfires or other firefighting opportunities.
There is nobody out here besides us.
At least they had some water to fight. So I'm sure he's going to say, hey, I'm just following orders. Well, I have something to tell you. We the people, we'd like to follow you too. At least in prison for a lifetime sentence. That's the least you deserve. A lot of people may think, oh, this is all coincidence. Except it ain't. Except it led to so much loss of life, following orders that cause death or violate people's rights like you're seeing in Canada or here right now. It's here right now too. In Maui, they're giving out permission slips just to travel from different parts of the island. And I'm not talking about Lahaina. This is just any town. If you're going to travel in Maui, you need a permission slip now. And people are lining up. You don't have to, guys. Maybe it's just, everybody has to figure out what's going on, go through this as an experience. But I'm telling you, this is a violation of your rights. No different than them not letting you put your house out. No different than it is your right to have water to fend for fires. They can't just turn off the water. If they do, they only get away with it if we do nothing.
We were fighting. We felt like we were winning. We were keeping it at bay, keeping it off of the properties. The water shut off. Even the firemen that were patrolling couldn't refill their trucks.
The president, within 6 hours, met our needs with the federal movement. 6 hours. I don't think that's ever happened.
Well, let's get right into this. Everybody who wants to know the truth, here you go. Type this in, Governor Josh Green, Agenda 2030. Want to know how they can implement this worldwide? Want to know how they can implement this worldwide? Want to know how they can turn off the water in Canada in some locations and also turn the water off in Maui in some locations? How is all this possible? Let me show you. Governor Green goes to United Nations to talk about Hawaii. Oh, except he was the keynote speaker for this right here, Agenda 2030. The one where you'll own nothing and be happy? The government just needs to tax you for climate change, even though they can't solve world hunger? Read the article. Invest into yourself. The speakers who were invited to help implement the United Nations Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals in 2030. He was the keynote speaker, Governor Josh Green. And isn't he acting like one? Yes, he is. It's happening right now in real time. And what are you going to do about it?
Man, what can I do about it other than make a video and say, dude, we're living in X-Files. We're living in the X-Files. It's happening. I would like to go to the movies and watch this. This would be a very entertaining movie. I don't want to be living in the movie. I want to leave the movie and go back to my life where there's no aliens, there's no clones. Can that happen? Who knows?
Nothing changes until we the people stand together, united, not divided. This is what brings change. It is by you and me, and we the people. If you have a soul, I'm talking to you.
That's foul how he threw that last little jab in there at the end. Dude, I'm not a clone. I have a soul. But what can I do other than hate it in my heart?
Forward in amazement. His eyes have caught a sudden and unbelievable change in scenery. The universal white is turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis in the shadow of the pole. It is for such supreme moments as this that men brave the hardships of exploration. The astounding, undreamed of fact is that they are over a chain of warm water lakes, whose shores, except for small patches, are free of ice and snow. Commander Bunger circles the largest lake in sight, 5 miles long. He comes in to make a landing. Water temperatures must be recorded. Samples taken. He finds the water fresh, the temperature 38 degrees Fahrenheit. On the shores are vast deposits of coal and of minerals of the utmost importance to civilization.
When are they gonna let us go live up there?
If they take over coaching like everybody wants wants them to, there's not going to be anything left for the white people. I mean, all the players are black. I mean, the only thing that the whites control is the coaching jobs. Now, I'm not being derogatory about it, but that's all that's left for them. The black talent is beautiful. It's great. It's out there. The only thing left for the whites is a couple coaching jobs.
Yeah, maybe we need to get more black coaches, don't you?
Oh, it's all right with me. I'm sure that they'll take over that pretty soon, too.
If you want me to tell you why there aren't any black executives, I'm not going to tell you it's because the black...
Yo, that dude talking, that's Jimmy the Greek. That was, you can Google him, but that was like a football, like, analyst, kind of, like Mel Kiper kind of dude, where he didn't play football, but he was like a, I don't know, like a odds maker, and a lot of things that he brought into the football, sports, gambling world, if you will. A lot of his practices are still practiced today. So him talking like that kind of reminds me, that was in the 80s, dude. He like lost his, that was the first dude to kind of get canceled. And that's what it was in America. And he just got in trouble for that. But this is like very like, man, he wasn't capping.
To get more black coaches, don't you?
Oh, it's all right with me. I'm sure that they'll take over that pretty soon, too.
If you want me to tell you why there aren't any black executives, I'm not going to tell you it's because the blacks aren't intelligent enough. I'm going to tell you because it is that whites have been running the establishment of broadcasting, just as they've been running the establishment of baseball for too long, and seem to be reluctant to give up power.
But let's say what it is, that there is a sense that the black can work in the field. He can work in the cotton field, and he can work on the ball field. But ask a black to use his brain, run a team, plan a team. Oh my goodness, you're talking about real integration.
Them dudes was either clones or aliens. They just look suspect. You know what I mean? They talking about people like they're specimens. The aliens have been here, man. You can unsubscribe because you think I'm crazy. I mean, these can't be people, dude. Come on. All right? Why do you think they telling us about all these UFOs? They like, showing you the footage. They're all aliens. They've been here, man. White people ain't this evil. Them are aliens.
Understand the type of technology the US government has. To make our point clear, this is a Garmin 7X. This 2-inch titanium and sapphire puck with a touchscreen, compass, gyroscope, barometer, altimeter, accelerometer, thermometer, and 4 GPS modes is capable of reading your heart rate, breath rate, and blood oxygen level with a 30-day battery life. Now, Garmin spends about $800 million on their research and development. The US government spends $140 billion on their R&D. Now, when the US government invented Gen 3 night vision in the 1980s, do you think they packed down their R&D facilities and called it a day? When the US invented a camera that could see a copy of Pravda in a Soviet citizen's hands from the stratosphere while moving 3 times the speed of sound in the 1960s, more than half a century ago, do you think they stopped researching?
No, I don't think they stopped researching. I think the stuff that they had in the 60s, the aliens was like, man, this is stuff that we give to our kids, man. We got way more exclusive stuff than that. But here, you just rock with this and keep these people down there asleep. And I think the people that was in power was like, okay, master. They couldn't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? So what would you do? You gonna try to revolt and be Nat Turner? Come on, stop the cap, dude.
Hey, did y'all hear about Buzz Aldrin when he went to Antarctica and he had a heart attack? When he woke up in the hospital, this is what he tweeted right here. We are all in danger. It is evil. Watch the video.
He went up there. He saw what they was cooking up. He said, what the f***?
Did you hear about Buzz Aldrin's trip? In July 2018, Linda Moulton Howe interview, a retired Navy SEAL who said he was stationed in Antarctica, who went on a mission inside one of these structures. and to engage the Nephilim.
I don't know enough about Nephilisms, but if I go inside of anything in Antarctica, nothing should be alive in there. Shouldn't be nothing moving, shouldn't be no electricity, shouldn't be nothing different than what I've seen in an Indiana Jones movie. Alright, now that looked like CGI.
So Freddy Krueger come from this man right here. His name is Frederick Krueger. His family migrated here from Germany after World War I, and they started following them circus folk around, and they joined in. Now his special skill he had was hypnotism. He was able to hypnotize people just so slick they wouldn't even know that it was going on. So that's why in the movies you see Freddy getting into people's dreams, is because he would put people in a hypnotic state and put them in a trance and all that. Now at first, he was doing the act and all that, but as times was changing and the circus started struggling, he had to find a way to make even more money. So he took that hypnotism power and started using it for evil. So what he would do is he would hypnotize the kids. The kids were real easy. He'd hypnotize and have them steal from their parents and bring the stuff back to him. Jewelry, money, anything valuable they could get their hands on.
Like the Pied Piper.
Go on dates with them. And there's limits to what you can do, but a lot of stuff like, dates, stealing, you can get people to do that. But he kept on working on it because he was trying to see just how far, like it was almost like playing God. So he started, having this power trip where he wanted to see, well, man, how much could I really, do with this power? This American woman that he was really in love with, but she wouldn't really give him the time of day because, she looked down on the circus folk.
Here we go. Villain origin story.
So he put he said, she came to one of the shows. He finally got her to come, and he called her from the audience and put a real serious spell on her. And she didn't know it at the time, but what happened is at home, she'd go home and start dreaming about him. And it was driving her crazy, and her family was just, they was just getting ticked off about it. Now, he did some darker stuff that I don't know if I could really talk about, on here, but eventually the people, the townsfolk went after him because they figured that it was some kind of like, witchcraft or type thing. And, back then folk didn't play that. So that's when they went, grabbed hold on him and put him on the grill.
Put him on the grill.
Nobel, you don't think about dynamite, right? He invented dynamite, hand grenades and munitions. That was all Nobel, the merchant of death. This guy made it off of dynamite.
That's insane.
Right? He took a huge chunk of his fortune and started the Nobel Peace Prize. Now you just think, oh my God, Barack Obama just won the Dalai Lama just won the Martin Luther King. And
that's a mind blower. But it makes sense because that's how evil fucks are. They'll try to cover up what they're doing with humanitarian work.
It does make sense. That's all we got for today. But come back. This was pretty cool. So let's continue with the mission. Let's continue with the community. I'm your host, Honest Adonis. We're going to come back through.